Hello there. You just saw the floor of the studio here. I need to do something with it. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. Of course, I'm not going to finish it today. It's probably going to take a week, 2 weeks, depending on how fast I work on it. But what I want to do is, currently, it's just a pressure treated floor for the shed. It's 3/4 inch tongue and groove, super thick, heavy duty wood, but I want to put like a coating on it to kind of dress it up some. And I think what I'm going to do is use this Cabot Gold, which is actually an outdoor deck stain. But I saw it at the lumber company the other day, and I really liked the way it looked. It almost looked like a finished floor. So I'm hoping that I will get the same results for in here. It'll kind of give it that nice dark look, which I think will be rather nice. So what I'm going to do is I've got to first get all the crap off of the floor in here, and then I'm going to sand it down, get all the dirt and grime off of it. And then once I do that, I'll clean it, I'll sweep it, and then I will put 2 coats of this Cabot Gold on it, and we'll see what it looks like. So don't go anywhere. Well, if you stumbled onto this video by accident because of the title, and you're wondering why I'm wearing this top hat, well, it's because this is a Halloween channel, and I'm doing this floor in preparation for Halloween this fall. Don't go anywhere. You might enjoy it. So this is the sander I'm going to use. It's electric. Has a little dust catch bag here. And it kind of has the loop Velcro that attaches it. And I'm just going to use 120 grit fine sandpaper, and I'll see how that works. I think that'll be good enough for me. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to get started now. Oh, one other thing. Need to wear a mask while I'm sanding, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I've got plenty of them, and I'm sure you do too. Well, it's coming along pretty good. Pretty happy with the way it's turning out. I've burned through about 3 pieces of sandpaper so far, and this is kind of the first sanding just to get some of the gunk and grime off of the floor. I've got a few places like this here that's a little discoloration, and that's my fault because I stuck a couple pumpkins there last fall and they froze inside here, and then they kind of thawed out and left a mess. I've also got some other areas on here where there's a few like nails sticking up, because when they put the floor down, the floor in here, they just used 16D nails. They have the head on them, not finished nails. And so there's a few of those that I need to tack down. And then there's also a few pieces of wood that have some cracks in them, like on the edges here, that I need to kind of sand down so they don't kind of come up. But it's turning out really well, I think, so far. I like the way like there's little dents and grooves in the wood. I've had this down now for a couple years. It's been built. I've been using it now for a couple years. And so I've dropped hammers on it and tools, and I've put little dents in the wood. And so when you sand it down, you know, there's like darks and lights in the wood, so it kind of gives it that old effect. And also, if you can see, this tongue and groove is not like a tight tongue and groove, so there's cracks in here. So I'm just going to do my best to kind of clean those out before I put the stain down, and then, you know, over time there's going to be dirt and stuff that get into it, but hopefully by staining this, it'll be easy to clean and wipe up rather nicely so it doesn't look like dirty all the time. It's been a couple days since I've sanded the floor here. It's as good as I'm going to get it. I went ahead and put some painter's tape around the edges because I don't want to get the stain up on the walls, and I don't plan on putting like a shoe molding around the base of the walls. So I want to try to keep that as clean as possible. Now, I think earlier in the video I said I was going to use this Cabot Gold, and I said it was going to be walnut. Well, it's not walnut, it's actually Moonlit Mahogany that I'm going to use. And I figure I'm going to need about 1.25 gallons, so based on the square footage of the area that I'm going to be doing. So I went ahead and bought another quart of this Cabot stain, and I will be using a nice brush suitable for stain. And the directions call for 2 coats. I'll put 1 coat down, let it dry for about 24 hours, and then they recommend doing a light sanding and then applying a 2nd coat, and then waiting 3 to 4 days before you put any furniture on it or walk on it, etc. So that's the plan. Here we go. The first coat's been put down. It's been about 36 hours, and I must say I like the way it looks. Now the next step will be to sand the entire floor lightly with some 600 grit sandpaper, and then after I sand it, I'll take my shop vac and I'll sweep it all up, and then I'll take a rag and kind of wipe it all down, and then I'll put the final coat on. Now after putting on the first coat of the stain, it does have some unevenness to the color on the floor, but according to the directions on the back of the can, that 2nd coat should level out the color and then go ahead and seal the floor. So that's what I'm going to do next, and then when I'm all done, I'll show you what it looks like. The final coat's been down for 7 days now, and I must say it looks really nice. The only thing left to do now is to peel the tape off around the edges and then give this place a good dusting, and then I can start bringing my stuff back in. So what I'll do now is I'll take the camera and I'll show you what the floor looks like. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Until then, talk to you later. Well, that's a wrap. Talk to you later.